Alright, welcome to week 6 of the Marshville series, and with patch 3.4 there's quite a bit to do. And we finally reached level 100, so there shouldn't be any more level increases for quite a while. But starting out, you want to go ahead and take a look at your casual tab, starting with Artificial Island. And you want to make sure that you go ahead and hit this present icon because you can only hold your resources for 24 hours. And once it turns 12 Eastern, you want to check in this area and see if you have an old man icon. If you do, you're able to go to your island and get some free resources. If you don't, you can check your friends, your crewmates, or people out in the world that allows you access. And if you want to find out more information about this, be sure to check out this video. But you at least want to visit your island once a week. Once inside, you want to hit this triangular icon, and you want to take a look at your exchange store, so that way you can buy your weekly items. And with it being a new month, we're able to buy monthly items as well. And if you're capturing pets, you want to make sure you feed them at least once a day. And lastly, don't forget that your enemies respawn every Monday, so you want to at least make sure that you go around and kill your bosses. Next, we have the fishing tab, and you want to try to get your fishing level to 9. That way you can buy your weekly standard matricy. And if you're just starting out with fishing, I recommend that you buy 100 to 150 green bait, and then with the rest of the available bait for the week, you can buy purple bait. Next, we have Ronnie the Resource Dealer, to where if you have Nan Yin, this is not a bad place to put your portal. To where if you're a Vote main, you want to make sure that you get your mini pelican shards, and you want to go ahead and try to collect your weekly energy. But if you do have trouble buying the items from Ronnie, don't forget that you can go to the Mentorship store and buy the appointed research kits. And you want to go ahead and get your potent omnium crystal. Next, you have appointed research. And you want to try to go to this every other day, so that way your energy does not cap, because you can only hold a grand total of 20 energy, so that way you can keep getting your 5 free energy. Next, we have racing. Now we're in a brand new month, so if you need Mira, you might want to try to do some racing, because if you can get in the top 100, you can get 400 Mira every month. And then we have the trap section. The areas that you want to take notice of are Celestial Beasts, where you can capture bird-like creatures, and if you want to capture all the bird-like creatures, you just need to get to level 5, and Ocean Catch, where you're able to get golden dolphins, and you have a chance to get those to turn into a mount as well. But this is a very small chance. But I do recommend that you take advantage of your daily capture experience, and you try to level up all the areas, because you never know when they might add something to all of these things. They also added another section called Ambassador, where you can spin your Mira to try to become the ambassador for the week. This is also an easy way to get a quick teleport to locations. But unless you're someone with a lot of Mira, I don't recommend that you do this, because it's going to cost quite a bit of Mira to win the ambassador title. And Mira is useful for a few things, even after you clear out the gachapons. And lastly, we can teleport to the marketplace. With it being a new month, of course you want to check your monthly vendor and see which items that you need to sell. And of course you want to sell them when they're at their highest. So hopefully you've been stocking up on some materials, so that way when they do end up being a very good value, you can immediately sell them. But if you have not, be sure to check out your bulletin board, so that way you can keep getting good deals. And again, if you find a good deal on some of the materials that you're going to need to make the items, go ahead and pick it up. And you want to stop by the Beast Adoption Center if you are training pets, because this does change weekly. And don't forget to craft your weekly domain expedition key, because that is the best place to get tries for your simulacrum traits. Bringing us to our daily bounties, and you want to always go with domain 9. And I recommend that you save your keys for the next patch. Since we're able to get quite a bit of energy this patch, you should be able to max out your statues fairly easily. Next, you want to do Mia's Kitchen, and you want to make sure that you do your 3 Claire Stream Machine, to where you can get these to spawn by killing elites, opening up boxes, or even going for machine parts, because you do have a chance to get some pretty good rewards like red nucleus, special vouchers, and even titan materials. Next, we got Vitality, starting with joint operations. So with this patch, we got access to balance modes, where they balance all of your weapons, and you generally want to go in with a party. Some of the teams that stand out are ones with Annabella or Rainbow, and the main reason why you want to do this is if you're trying to hunt down drives. This also can count towards your daily first clear reward, so you're still going to get your free matrix shard and a free drive. But if your gear is not that great, especially for your main element, you might be better off just doing JO8. And you still want to check out this instance effects, because you want to look for days where you have Habuella Arcilla shards, to where this week it's today on Sunday, so ideally you were trying to save your vitality on Saturday, so that way you can get a bunch of Habuella shards. Which brings us to interstellar exploration, and you want to check Vera as well as check Aspera. And ideally you want to try to go for level 3 or level 2 stargates, and how you're able to tell is by looking at the stars above the stargates. But if you don't have any level 3 or level 2 stargates, you can always do dimensional trials and simply hit go and use up all of your vitality. You can do the same for matrix data packs, are gold. Which brings us to our optionals, and that is giving gifts to your 1.0 characters. And the best way to do that is to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins, see this island and do the claw machine, or knock out your 2 trainings for the day. You can also do your 8 fun zones, so that way you can get Mira. But one thing that is not optional are your security force missions, because those give you old Vera coins and Mira. Bringing us to our events, so hopefully you logged in enough time so that way you got all of the supply run, so that we can get those Nan Yin rows and a few extra rows as well. And of course, this month, Nan Yin is the new character, and if you want to find out what I think about her, be sure to check out this video. And when it comes to Lin, I recommend that you pass. And we got a new outfit gachapon, so again, if you do want to roll on these, I recommend that you use Tanium because it's going to be cheaper. And you want to go ahead and click on the reward, so that way you can look at the outfit and you can press preview and you can see if you like it. Because all you have to do is simply click on this icon and click on custom, and you can change the colors however you want to see if you like this outfit. Bringing us to the main events. So of course we have our challengers task list, so you want to try to knock out all of these so that way you can get all the rewards. And version delivery, so where they do force you to do the ambassador event, so I do recommend that you do it early in the week so that way you can submit a low bid. And as previously mentioned, don't forget to do your domain expedition every week with your weekly domain key. And then we have the big events, comment monthly. So the first one that we have is the bingo event, to where basically you need to do these missions, to where they can be as simple as gathering or as hard as having to do 5 break from destiny games. What you're trying to do is get 10 rows so that way you can clear a board, because you have to have 10 rows on a board before you can get a new one. And there's 5 boards altogether. Now to claim the rewards, you have to get multiple sets of squares, to where if you just get 3 sets of squares, that's really the best way to do it, because you get most of the rewards. And really if you get 4 squares, all you get is gold, and it's just not worth using your extra skills to get that. So all you need to simply do is click on the stamp icon and it will randomly select an area. I recommend just trying to get like all of them in the top, middle, or bottom. And after using my 5 turns, this is what I got. But we do have these extra skills, but I recommend that you don't use these until you do your 10 rows. But I could use handy swap and I could switch places and make those squares. So if I selected on this stamp and I selected this one and press OK, we go ahead and get to this spot, giving me 1 whole square. And if you activate spot taken, then I can select a square that will never get selected, so it can help me get my 3 squares much easier. And if you do Intel update, if you have a bad mission on your bingo scorecard, you can select it and press Intel update and it will change. And that's essentially how you do this game. You can also hit mission refresh, which you get 1 every week, allowing you to reset all of the missions, even if they're already completed. Bringing us to Seasons of Gratitude. So for the first one, we have the Golden Games, which is basically a race. This one's not too hard, and generally if you can get into the top places, you get quite a bit of points. But the much easier game is City Siege, to where really all you need to do is just kind of throw all of your enemies into the middle, and most of the time you're going to win the game. I recommend that you try to throw a lot of small enemies at the start, so that way you overwhelm your enemy. And then if you see your enemies getting some powerful enemies, you can wait a little bit and summon a powerful enemy yourself. There's also one other event that's going on every weekend, so you want to make sure that you take a look at these dates, because when you open up boss chests, you're able to get double the rewards. So for me, I've been using this to try to go ahead and get enough shards to go ahead and get my dragon pet to 3-star. But other ways to use this event is if you are low on advancement modules or booster modules. Good bosses to farm are Magma or Rudolph, because they give the most advancement and booster modules. Other bosses would probably be something like Scylla, to where if you're trying to get micro reactor shards, this is a good one to go for, on top of having a chance to get a Scylla matrice. Next we have mentorship, and you want to make sure that you take your mentees out and at least give them the points, so that way you can eventually graduate them to get some very good rewards. But you want to take at least 1 mentee and do the co-op missions. And when it comes to the store, I recommend that you buy the Titan compiling module, the data repeaters, and the golden gear. And with your excess points, you can consider buying radar detectors or appointment research kits. And for the energy, the main thing you want to make sure is that you have this statue to level 6 and this statue to level 6 as well. That way you can take the code in the new area. And make sure you collect the towers in this location, because that gives you 3,000 energy every week. Bringing us to the weekly tab. So you want to make sure that you do enough things down here so that way you can get everything up top, and you especially want to do the things that give you keys. But I still would try to save your keys for patch 3.5. Bringing us to the challenges. So if you're trying to do something like Frontier Clash or Bygone Phantasm, you might want to save your Mia's Kitchen to power yourself up. But starting with Bygone Phantasm. So again, you want to take a look at this weapon bonus, and if you have a good weapon bonus, then you might want to try to climb a few floors. But the biggest thing that will determine your rank is Sequential Phantasm. If you're able to get a high score here, most likely you're going to get the top rewards for the week. Wormhole, you have 9 days to go ahead and complete this, and you want to make sure that you do, so that way you can get those exoskeleton shards. Frontier Clash, you want to go ahead and knock this out, so that way you can get that golden gear. Frontier Evolution, now we have a new season, so you want to try to get a strong team together and go ahead and knock this out, so that way you can get those extra robes. Origin of War, now we have a new season as well, so you want to make sure that you knock that out before the difficulty drops to 600%. Void Rift, this is a first time boss for you, you want to go ahead and knock it out. Void Abyss, now we have a new season, and the last boss is Gaia, so if you have been able to kill Gaia before, you shouldn't have too much issues now. Raid, now if you have difficulty, you can always just clear this on Heroic, because Challenge only gives you a few extra rewards. Break from Destiny, now we're in a new month, so that means you want to make sure that you do Break from Destiny before the month ends. And how you're able to tell is by checking out this information tab. Arena, if you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in every day. And you might also want to try to get some critical abyss points throughout the week. Then we got our daily buys, so you want to go to shop and make sure that your monthly pass is active. Then we have our daily supply box, so for my dolphins out there, you want to make sure that you activate your 7-day purchase. Then we have the hot tab, so if you're going to buy some vitality solutions, I recommend that you don't buy no more than 2 a day, because every time a new character comes out, that's basically like giving up 21 rows. And if you're in need of advancement modules, you might want to go ahead and buy those. And then we have the limited gift pack section, and we got a new pack, the December gift pack, which is an okay deal. Basically, we add up all the rows. It's basically 93 dark crystals a row. But if you need Titan compiling modules, booster modules, and advancement modules, it's a little bit better. So depending on your budgets and needs, you may want to pick this up. Bringing us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust Store. So you want to make sure that you buy your very special gift, your Potent Omnium Crystal, your advancement modules, your booster modules, your augmentation box, and your augmentation factor. Space Time Store, you want to go ahead and buy your advancement modules, your booster modules, and your data repeaters. And if you have some extra crystal fragments, you can go ahead and buy eyepiece shards. Cruise Store, now the only thing that I spend my points on are relics, and the relics that I recommend are either Space Time Rift or Omnium Shield. Support Store, if you have an excess amount of points, then you can buy your Space Time crystal fragments, your gold, and you can consider your black nucleus and joint supply chips. And if you have returner points, I recommend that you buy the proof of purchase, and you can consider space-time crystal fragments, and if you have an excess, then you can buy your radar detector or goat nucleus. Point Store, now the only thing that you want to really spend your points on are spiritual gifts, so that way you know to do training, black market, or see this island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. And with your critical points, I recommend that you try to buy your weekly Veron. And if you have excess points, then you can consider buying the extra shards for the accessories, or mount pieces. But besides that, I just recommend that you explore the map so that way you can get those extra resources. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to give it a like so that way it spreads more on YouTube. But other than that, I'll talk with you guys later.